Welcome to our series on leasing versus financing. Today we want to talk about liability. Liability, not as big an issue here in Manitoba as it is in other provinces, but certainly in the United States it's pretty important. Now here in Winkler, close to the United States border, a lot of you do spend some time going south, going across the line, either for holidays or for picking up fuel or whatever you might be doing there. But certainly we're spending some time across the line. The liability coverage that you get when you have a Manitoba driver's license is a limited and a set amount. And when you insure your vehicle, you buy a liability amount. Now usually when you're leasing, you have at least $1 million liability, and you might choose more. There is a limit to $5 million liability that you get on your MPI insurance program. Now let's say, for example, Bob bought his car and Larry leased his car, and they're driving down the road together and they both ram into a school bus simultaneously. They're both going to get sued by a possible professional football player that happened to be on board the school bus. And mom and pop football player decided to sue. Bob the buyer has got some coverage on his driver's license, and on his as the owner of the vehicle has got coverage on liability with on his insurance. Larry the leaser, he's got his driver's license coverage, and he's got his MPI liability coverage, and he also has an umbrella coverage, a liability coverage from, in this case, Honda Canada Finance or Honda Finance. They have a big umbrella coverage over all of their lease portfolio. So if you get sued for $10 million bucks and you got coverage for $1 million in your driver's license and $5 million on your car, it's $6. You need to scrape together another $4 million out of the cushions of your couch. Not so easy, says Bob the buyer. Larry the leaser turns to the owner of the car, and they've got coverage for him there with an umbrella coverage. So instead of going broke because you bought your car instead of leased it, the extra liability coverage kicks in from the owner of the vehicle, in this case Honda Finance. You know what? Doesn't happen very often, I'll admit to that. But if it happens once to somebody you know, would it make a big difference? Yeah, so you get a little extra liability coverage when you're leasing your vehicle. It's just one more reason to consider leasing over financing. Certainly not the only one, but one to consider, one to know about. Thanks for visiting southlandhonda.com and visiting our educational portion of our website. Feel free to drop us a line, greg@southlandhonda.com. Be happy to answer any questions about leasing versus financing you might have. Thanks.